sagging, bouncing, or uneven floors? Standing water or high humidity, nasty odors, or dangerous mold? Crawl space problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call APS.
This is the afternoon edition of the Daily Weather Briefing video. This is for Tuesday, the 13th of December. I'm James Spann. We got a very impressive mid-latitude cyclone across the middle of the country. For some, a blizzard today. For others, severe storms. That mess moves in here tomorrow. Main chance of severe storms over the southern half of the state, and really cold air seems to be poised to move in here around Christmas. So a lot of things to talk about today. Here we go. This is the upper air look, and that is a very impressive system out across the nation's heartland. And again, in the cold sector, we have blizzard conditions. In the warm sector, we have severe storms. But for Alabama, things are pretty quiet. That's the visible satellite view. For most of the state, the sky is generally overcast and really no rain on radar here. The closest rain over Arkansas and the northwestern corner of Louisiana, back down into parts of eastern Texas, where they've got some severe storms in progress. Temperatures are mostly in the mid to upper 50s over North Alabama, which is a little below average, not by far. But down to the south, we have Mobile at 70, Dothan at 68. And we do note we now have a flash flood watch in effect for parts of Alabama, generally along and north of Interstate 59, the counties in green. That would be north of a line from Tuscaloosa to Birmingham over to Anniston. Actually, north of Interstate 20, I guess you could say. But in that part of the state, we could see some flooding issues developing by tomorrow night. But understand, the whole state is going to get a bit soaking from this system. And around the nation, blizzard warnings in effect for parts of Colorado, Nebraska, South Dakota, Wyoming, winter storm warnings up through North Dakota and Minnesota, and a tornado watch in effect for parts of northeastern Texas and southwest Arkansas. Here's a look at the severe weather outlook through tonight. We have an enhanced risk over parts of East Texas, Louisiana, and southwest Mississippi. And again, through tonight, all of the active weather stays west of the state. And then, of course, it moves eastward. And tomorrow, we have the chance of severe storms over parts of the southeast United States. This is the probabilistic outlook when it comes to tornadoes. And we have that hatched area over southwest Alabama, south Mississippi, southeast Louisiana. That means there could be a strong tornado or two in that zone. That would be EF2 or higher by definition. And we have lower tornado probabilities, of course, around that. But again, the greatest concern for tornado activity is going to be down in southwest Alabama, in that hatched area. This is a look at the categories. We have a level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk of severe storms tomorrow. And this is basically for areas south of a line from near York to Greenville down to about Andalusia, the orange on that map. We have a level 2 out of 5 up to Tuscaloosa, Wetumpka, and Eufaula, and then a marginal risk up to Birmingham. And there's going to be a really sharp cutoff in severe weather possibilities tomorrow. Much of North Alabama is going to be in a cool, stable air mass. And the question is, how far can the instability go in terms of the northward component of motion? And we'll take a look at new modeling here in just a second. And then on day 3, Thursday, the risk of severe storms moves on to the east, parts of Georgia, the Florida Peninsula, and the South Atlantic coast. A lot of rain. This is the rain for the next 7 days, and quite frankly, the bulk of this is going to be tomorrow and tomorrow night into the pre-dawn hours Thursday. And for many places, rain amounts will be in the 2 and 3 inch range. And again, we have that flash flood watch for North Alabama areas along and north of Interstate 20. So let's go through modeling. Model fans. This is the GFS, the 12Z run, valid tomorrow afternoon at 4. And obviously a very impressive trough, providing the dynamic support for the feature. And down below that, the initial surface low is occluding up over Nebraska. And a secondary low tries to spin up around Columbus or Starkville in Mississippi. So let's go to high-res modeling. This is the 3-kilometer NAM, valid tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock. And you can see just a messy, convective look there. And for North Alabama, just a lot of rain. If you're in Huntsville, Cullman, Gadsden, Hamilton, Fayette, Jasper, and really Birmingham, just cool, stable air, a lot of rain. The severe weather possibilities down to the south. And let's look at the instability, and this will be the key in the northward extent of the severe weather threat tomorrow evening. And there's a little bit up to Pickens County, but the really decent instabilities are over southwest Alabama in that level 3 out of 5 risk area. And, of course, we'll watch parameters carefully, but often with this type situation, it's really hard to displace a large rain-cooled air mass like we're going to have over North Alabama. This is the significant tornado parameter. This is a composite index. Numbers have actually come down a bit, but still, they're certainly significant there. The values mostly in the 2 and 3 unit range over southwest Alabama. And in terms of the timing, I really think this will be a late afternoon, nighttime event for most of you in southwest Alabama. I'd say 4 to midnight. I know it says noon on the graphic, and that's what the Weather Service is using. There might be a rogue storm earlier in the day, but I think that core threat's going to come after 4 o'clock. And then for southeast Alabama, places like Dothan, Enterprise, the main window for severe storms there between 5 p.m. and 3 a.m. And again, for North Alabama, severe storms are not expected. So you know the drill. If you're in Mobile, Fairhope, Gulf Shores, Bay Minette, Atmore, Monroeville, Jackson, Butler, Linden, Monroeville, Camden, just be very weather aware late tomorrow and tomorrow night, and be sure you can get the warnings, and be sure your friends and neighbors know about this, because a lot of folks don't necessarily pay attention to weather this time of the year because everybody's so busy. And understand, this is not unusual. This is tornado season. We've been hammering this for a long time, but it's November through May, and we have a lot of tornadoes this time of the year. Coming up on the anniversary of the December 16th, 2000 tornado in Tuscaloosa. So let's go to Thursday. The sky becomes sunny. The high will be in the 50s for North Alabama, 60s for the southern part of the state. And again, the really cold air not coming in initially. This is Friday, mostly sunny with highs in the 50s, lows in the 30s. Very seasonal, if you will. We'll go to Saturday, and there's a little feature in the southern branch of the jet stream, and it might squeeze out a couple of sprinkles over South Alabama, but the air is going to be awfully dry, and most of the state will be dry. So Saturday, some clouds. For North Alabama, highs probably in the upper 40s, South Alabama highs in the 50s. And then on Sunday, that feature is on by. Sunday should be a partly to mostly sunny day. And again, for North Alabama, highs in the 40s, 50s for South Alabama. And Sunday morning, we should be below freezing for the first time since the 1st of December. So let's go to Monday. The GFS looks kind of cold and dry. This is the European, and it's starting to come in better alignment with the American model, showing any rain off to the west. So for now, we're going to forecast a dry day Monday. And this is a week from today, Tuesday the 20th, an active southern branch, and again, that looks dry at this point. So let's go out 10 days. Friday of next week, December 23rd, Christmas Eve. Big trough diving down. That's a polar jet stream coming down this way, and that's a very cold air mass coming down the pike. Goodness. Looks like that's a 1,063 millibar high over Wyoming. And again, this is 10 days out. We don't get hung up in the specifics of this, but the pattern, the confidence in the pattern is very high of cold air coming in here. And let's just go on out to Christmas Day. Why not? Again, this is December 25th, and if this is right, it would be very cold and dry for Alabama on Christmas Day. And the anomalies are just almost off the chart. That's brutally cold air from the Canadian border right down through the southern states. And again, the worst case scenario would be something like 1983. 1983 on Christmas Day, the high here was 18 in Birmingham. The low was 2. I don't think it's going to be quite that cold, but that idea is not totally off the table. But I do think we might have multiple days where we stay below freezing around Christmas. And again, in terms of any snow or that, we don't see evidence of that, but there's no skill in a forecast of precipitation like that, that far in advance. But the screaming message, the pattern looks really cold at Christmas. Rain for Birmingham off the European ensemble, the mean between 2 and 3 inches between now and the 28th. And look at the numbers off the National Blend of Models, which is a pretty good way of looking at it. And again, you can see the step down. By the time we get to Saturday and Sunday, highs in the upper 40s. And next week, highs around 50. And then out there toward the end of the week, you can see the high dropping to 42 on December 23rd, the low dropping to 21 on the 24th of December, Christmas Eve. And again, it would just keep on going down colder than that. So again, just be ready for some really cold air. And hot off the presses, got the brand new CPC outlook. This is for December 21st through December 27th. Deep dark blue from the Midwest down here through the deep South. And it just looks awfully cold. So cold weather fans, we've been saying this, but your time is coming. Hey, let's roll some Pepsi Kid Cam video. Look at the crowd today. Greensboro Elementary School, we had a great time. Saw the 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders today. And they could not have been better. And boy, it's a fun week to be in schools because they're about out. This is their last week before the Christmas break. But that's a good-looking cake, and gave me a goodie cooler there with all kind of stuff for these long, severe weather nights. But again, to everybody down in Hale County at Greensboro Elementary, thanks a lot for a great visit today. Good to see our friends from the Newbern Library. They kind of sponsored that visit today. So that'll be it for the weather briefing video this afternoon. For those that are new here, we do these twice a day. In the morning about 5:15, the afternoon about 2:30. And we have notes on the blog, alabamawx.com. That's the hub of the products there. And we do invite you to watch us over in Studio A on ABC 3340 News this evening at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.
Sinking driveway? Call Alabama Professional Services. Settling patio? Call APS. Uneven pool deck? Call APS. Collapsing stoop? Call APS. Cracking sidewalk? That's right, call APS. It's a fact. Concrete problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call APS. Call Alabama Professional Services today.